the seriousness of actually getting gang stalked. I say that because gang stalking is literally a bunch of people pushing drugs, pushing not sleeping, pushing confusion, pushing making you feel a lot of negative emotions with the expectation of messing with your brain so much that you are unable to comprehend reality as it truly is. Gang stalking is literally a touchless lobotomy. You cannot take gang stalking as a joke if you're getting gang stalked. The people that feel that they're continuously getting attacked with direct energy weapons, that defend the direct energy weapons, that say that they are real, those are the people that have already lost the battle with gang stalking, where they are permanently convinced that they are being harassed all the time, 24/7. Gang stalking is not a joke at all. It actually is incredibly sinister because it is literally a way of making someone unable to live their life like they're supposed to. And the method of making someone become that way is so good at being undetected, which is why people only see the end game, the end result. They only see, oh, this person is getting harassed. Or, I mean, this person believes that they're getting attacked. Why do you wear a tinfoil hat? The truth is that that state of mind can be seen from two perspectives. From the perspective of that person did so many drugs that got stuck there, or that person just lost it. But no one ever says, why did that person become like that? People do not seem to understand the seriousness of gang stalking. If you're getting targeted, you have to know that you have a fight in front of you for your sanity and for your cognitive abilities. And because it's a battle, a war that you didn't ask to be in. Not only that, but it's a battle where you do not know what the weapons are. That makes it so much harder for you to understand what's actually going on. That's why in my channel, I have so many videos of what's the end game. If you haven't seen them, let me tell you. The end game is for you to be convinced that everyone around you is part of a group that is going to continue harassing you for the rest of your life. You are made to misinterpret loud engines, bangs, words, even colors of clothing as signs of harassment. To me, these techniques didn't result in any type of permanent damage because I was looking at gang stalking like a puzzle. When I finished putting the puzzle together, I realized that it's a puzzle that is comprised of people. So if you get rid of the people, you get rid of the puzzle. If there's people around you that are nice to you, but they're acting in a weird manner, they're acting sketchy, they're confusing you, ask them to not speak to you ever again. Because that is the primary method that gang stalkers get to you, where they behave like a friend, but they are doing things to mess with you. And this type of behavior builds the question, is this person my friend or not? The moment that you start questioning someone's integrity, someone's actual friendship, that is a huge red flag. Listen to your intuition. You will feel a pull on your stomach when something is wrong. You will feel it. You have to listen to that pull of your stomach. If you are getting gang stalked, you have to take your well-being very, very, very seriously. And you have to be incredibly selective with whom you talk to in any platform. The crazy thing about gang stalking is that someone can be your friend and all of a sudden, someone tells them something and their behavior changes towards you 180 degrees. They just turn on you for no apparent reason. That change of behavior should be enough for you to not speak to that person ever again. Gang stalking can only thrive if you talk to the people that keep confusing you further. When I was working at the O'Reilly Auto Parts in Imperial Beach, this guy Esau was his name, and he would talk to me only to interrupt me. And there was one day where I just had it, and this was where I was like, "Why are you gonna ask me a question and interrupt me when I'm trying to answer it? That's rude as hell. Do not speak to me ever again." And guess what? All of a sudden, I was doing so much better at work. I told 2 people not to speak to me, and once it happened, I felt so much better. These are people that are trying to enrage you only for to accuse you, to be irrational once you have a reaction to something that they say or do to you. I even had someone talk to me. Well, 2 people. 2 people talk to me and message me in different platforms, even when I asked them not to talk to me. That in itself tells you how much they respect you. When you tell someone not to talk to you and they still do, and not only that, but this person talked to me and replied to me after I said, don't speak to me, with pictures of them naked. This is exactly why I told you, people were sending me unsolicited pictures by the hundreds. This person wanted to F me psychologically again to keep me thinking about going out and engaging in behavior that will lead to meeting a bunch of these psychopaths. This is gonna sound a little extreme, but extreme measures is exactly what gang stalking merits. You cannot take gang stalking lightly. You just can't. The moment that gang stalking happens, you have to pull your SHIT together. You have to pull yourself together in every single way, shape, and form. And to be honest, I went completely abstinent. Like I just abstinent. I am not gonna put myself in harm's way at all. Gang stalking is literally a fight for your sanity. You literally have a bunch of people telling you that there is something wrong with you, but no one is telling you what. I think it's actually the other way around. If you're getting gang stalked, you're probably incredibly sane, but you're surrounded by a bunch of psychopaths. Notice that gang stalking is a bunch of people trying to make you appear like you're crazy. Normal people don't do that. Normal people are too busy with their lives, trying to be a little bit better every day. That's what's normal, at least in my book. To be honest, what I am the happiest about is simply that my gang stalkers were so dumb that they literally told me everything that I had to know about gang stalking so that I can make it publicly available. However, I must admit that dumb people in numbers have a lot of power. Notice the hierarchy that this thing has to work through. People talking to people, having group chats to bring down one person. That is insane to me, don't you think? That's insane as hell. And let me tell you, that makes me a little bit proud, that it took so many people. However, the fact that I've been benefiting from everything, that's what makes it even better. I don't mean to sound like I'm full of myself. I really don't. But being able to get out of gang stalking, considering how long it took, considering how many people were involved, considering everything that happened during my gang stalking operation, makes me feel very proud that in the end I was able to pull through. It wasn't easy. Anyways, if you are getting gang stalked, if you're a target individual, that in itself should be a wake-up call for you to stop mingling with people who do not deserve your time. I was at the wrong job. I was surrounded by all the wrong people. And gang stalking is what taught me to see it. It really did. And it's something so unbelievable and it's so evil without any intention of hiding it, because so many people are involved that if you say something, people around you are gonna call you crazy. The good thing is that there is so much social media now that it evens out the war zone. However, everything that you do in gang stalking has to be strategic. You cannot just come out and just blame someone. I mean, you can, I guess, because I did. However, you have to make sure that it fits within the reality that everyone is living. Because let me tell you, when I was getting gang stalked and I was stuck in the alternate narrative of gang stalking, it was so real. There was absolutely no difference between your reality and the gang stalking. There was absolutely no difference. Subscribe if you haven't. My name is Sergio Rodriguez and I was gang stalked for 7 years. I've been a personal trainer for 10. And in this channel, I teach you everything there is to know about gang stalking. I'll talk to you about my experiences, which also apply to life. And I also show you how you can get lean, sculpted, without sales, without gimmicks. Only nutrition, exercise, and the truth. I will see you in my next video.